16, finally starting! We have Max Reynolds versus Paolo.
Maximilian versus
Fire
Paolo.
King Snake Eyes versus Pure Snake Eyes. Okay.
In terms of their team record, 8 wins, 2 losses, 0 draws, and the other team, which is Paolo's team, the Disciples, we have 8 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw.
Both players managed to squeak by, but it does mean technically Paolo's team has the numerical advantage there, right? They would have had a little bit more points than Maximilian's there, but great sportsmanship being shown. Let's go ahead and draw up. It is time to duel.
Yeah, those points no longer matter at this stage.
Okay, so we're going to try and break down this from a
here,
technical
but how
perspective.
you move forward is up to you.
So 45-minute counter.
I'm going to bring their volume down and try and have my...
Looks like we're going to start with Bonfire.
Okay,
Not the best start, because that's a very dangerous... You could run into a drone lockbird.
So that tells us that Paolo does not have Snake Eyes Ash in hand, or...
Certainly
he doesn't have a very strong starting
maybe
hand.
go straight into the Snake Eye Ash without
No, there's
risking
Max get a
because you would wanna
droll
see the
here.
Snake Eye Poplar, but showing that you need to use the Bonfire to get Snake Eye Ash, maybe you don't have anything else. And
So
it even looks like we're going to summon the very same Ash without actually shuffling it into the hand.
Well, lucky for Paolo there, I guess. And remember, this is the format I would like to call Interaction Awareness Month.
Oh, I like that.
Interaction awareness.
Is that because you really can't just like use the cards that activate from the hand just willy-nilly? You really need to concentrate?
You have to focus on every
Now,
interaction point.
what Paolo gets here
so
will show us what his other card in hand is. If he gets original,
feel your way through, and hopefully you're not going to run into
then he
the
needs
big
to...
things that
Oh,
stop
okay, so he got Divine Temple here, which means he's already got access to the original or the Wanted engine.
Field spell, and we're going to continue, and we're going to put a Snake Eye monster into the spell and trap zone.
I've seen
You put Flamberge here.
Flamberge be the target here, but perhaps we got a different combo in
No,
mind.
you put Flamberge here.
Oaking provide follow-up, and it's going to be Ash instead.
Ash to Ash.
Okay, that is very,
There's
very
a possibility that we're going to
weird.
see both of those in the back row be sent away because Poplar has not been put into the grave, but that's going to send.
Oh, I see what he's doing.
Fire monster into the spell and trap zone, probably used to pay
So
another
what he's
cost.
doing here is
There's the Flamberge Dragon.
you're using it to play around a potential Ghost Bell.
Paolo just taking a moment to consider his moves. Maximilian doesn't have any responses so far. Perhaps he's holding on to a Nibiru.
So when someone doesn't do anything, I think they just are holding back. They have to hold back because key timing
It's a little bit-
is very important. You don't want to use your interactions too soon.
Now, I'm going to
and
also make
it
the
requires
reasonable
some
assumption
level of patience
is
to
that
just
Paolo
not
has
go
original.
trigger happy on those cards.
Oh, absolutely. We saw incredible patience last weekend, you know, holding on to an infinite.
It's a really good
permanence
technical
for
play
as long
there.
as Jesse Cotton did. Really set a great example for this entire format. You can't just activate a card just because its conditions have been met. You need to wait to stop a card that actually is going to do something.
I'm also
against
under the
you.
assumption
And it's
that
still possible that maybe there's a Nibiru right now, but
Now the Flamberge has been used, and we're going to continue moving on. We have the IP Masquerade being Link Summon and the Flamberge summoning back to 2.
you make
and
Heat
we got
Soul
the Link
here?
Rebo continuing on with the Link Summoning. And that's going to be Promethean Princess.
the Star of Flames is definitely the monster of the hour. I've been saying it all day, but it's true. It's just an incredible fire card here. And looks like we're thinking for just a moment about what we're going to do next.
Is this the point of interaction?
It doesn't actually target.
We're going to special summon back our Flamberge.
Oh, okay,
That's
that's
going
pretty cool.
to put the IP Masquerade
This is
into
this
the
plays
Spell and Trap
very
Zone,
well
ready for
around
next
the
turn to be
Nibiru.
resummoned out.
Certainly a powerful option, letting you reuse the IP Masquerena. Again, special summoning it from the Spell and Trap Zone because Flamberge is just that good.
And, yep, he had the Wanted.
Good, it's time for Wanted, Seeker of Sinful Spoils.
I think Max was aware that that was there.
Start from the deck.
Very interesting timing. I think that was pretty smart. Just in case he did run into a drone locker, he could chain this card to add the card into hand.
So why
just
this
in the
is
nick of
actually...
time.
The best
Luckily,
part
it
about this
seems like
is the
nothing's
fact
going
that
against Paolo here. So if you're cheering for him, this is
it's the
nothing
fact
but
that he can
sunshine
play
coming
so
his way,
easily
but so we're gonna go
around
ahead and link off,
the
send
nib.
Bestower of
Like, if he
Flames
gets hit
into
by a
Snake
nib, he's
Ash
gonna have
and
3
Raven.
materials on
Has to be
board.
a Fire Link monster, probably an Amblo Whale.
Because he can bring out the
Swarm Ship.
Or we're going down. So there's always going to be that two direction, and we're going to have to
Okay,
retrieve
so they
a
do
couple
play
of cards
Sunlight
here.
Wolf.
Are we going to retrieve this turn, or is it going to be the next turn?
Well, I mean, either way, you're definitely going to get that effect. Whether Flamberge
I think
is bringing out
you
the IP
special summon
Masquerade into
the
the same
Ballstar by
zone,
sending the
or if you
Ash
decide
that's in the
you're
spell
gonna
trap
get another
zone.
level 1 on the field and maybe tribute off
You
the Link
do.
Karibo.
It was going to be a Diabell Star. Diabell Star effect, and that's going to put another Wanted.
Because he already has
That's
original
interesting,
in
because that
hand.
telegraphed that the original Sinful Spoils might be in the hand then.
We already knew it was in hand. You won't search Divine
We choose to
Temple unless
play
it's
it
already in hand.
now. That's the question. We are going to play it
We
now. We're going to
are.
send it away.
Okay.
Now this has got to be where you put the fire monster behind Sunlight Wolf in order to get its powerful effect to add something.
Oh.
Absolutely doing so with
So he's
Snake
not
Eye
going
Bridge.
for the
Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2.
Jet
There's two
Synchron
chain links
lines.
here. And a 3. You do the chain link 3 of the Link Karibo.
Oh yes, you do that, so that way the
Make
nib
sure
doesn't
that
matter.
monster is safe, sort of block out any enemy interference.
No.
Interesting question, by the way. It doesn't target. I wonder if that spoke about Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion, although I feel like I would have seen that by now from Maximilian if he was going to discard it.
Yep.
And now we're going to activate the wanted Secret Sentinel Spell to put back a spell card to draw an additional card.
I mean, this is a great
is just so
navigation
much
here.
draw power.
The technical
really
play
is.
is
Surge power,
really
draw
well
power,
done.
everything does something out of the deck. It feels like all these spell cards, all they are
Is it making
monster
heat soul here?
replacements.
They kind of are. I mean, it
I would
does give you
assume
a
you're
basic
making Heat
proxy
Soul
for an
here.
additional monster card
Yes.
there. And speaking of additional monster cards, we're going to get Decode Talker Heat Soul to pay 1,000 life points and draw
For
an
another
additional
card.
All
And
right.
now
Let's give
Max
another card
has
likely
to
on the draw phase of
respawn.
Maximilian as well. It's such a good card. It's a Pot of Greed monster, but we're going to put that away into the graveyard. I think now might be the point where the Amble Whale would come out.
No,
Instead,
Apo.
they're
It was
gonna go
Apo,
by the
yeah.
Appaloosa. Seems
The
like
two
the
materials,
play have
yeah.
shifted now.
Just a little bit. That's going to be a 2-material
So,
Appaloosa, not necessarily the
this is a little
strongest it
bit
could be,
different. That means
but
he's not going
gives
for the
you
Jet
2
Synchron
ample
line.
anti-monster negation effects, and you're still going to be able to see the IP Masquerena brought up by the Flamberge Dragon, which means once that Appaloosa is done using its effects, it can be used as a link material to kind of keep the
So
game going.
Paulo, really good
I think
technical play
all
there.
of these players that made it to the top, they are
There's certain lines that
again,
I didn't
Super Poly. You don't
initially
wanna
see,
play
so that's
into the
something to
Super
review.
Poly. It's very dangerous if you leave 2 fire monsters on the field. But here we have Maximilian playing with the Fire
Is there a better
King
line
Snake
there?
Eye.
Like the difference
Fire King's
is
certainly going to
the
have
other line
different
plays
combos of
heavily
play to
into
get
like
in the
nib.
game.
Looking
Whereas,
at the current
this
field,
line
we have
doesn't.
the field spell, we have also the Flamberge, and there's also the 2 negates that can come from the 1600 attack Appaloosa. There's a lot on the field, but not to mention there's also stuff in the graveyard. Don't forget the Promethean Princess is also in the graveyard, and we're going to start off
Bonfire
with
is
Bonfire
fine.
as well. Does Paulo have the out to counter this, or are they going to wait?
Well, it
That
can't be
is
the
okay.
Apollo Usa, Boa the Goddess. She is great, but she does not stop spell and trap effects. So you're right. Those bonfires being used to get monster cards, and that's not something she can stop. Paolo wringing his hands, trying to figure out what he wants to do, but looks like we're going to go ahead and just let that resolve and add a new card.
Now, Paulo, I think all of the players at the top cut, they do
think Max
not
is lefty.
express emotion in game. They just like to keep their cool.
Certainly do have to. Again, your teammates are there to keep you up, but
So
your
he
opponent can
bonfire
see
search
if you
for
need
Ash,
support.
was it?
So if everybody's trying to cheer you on, it just tells your opponent, hey, he might be a little nervous.
This is still like a really good position for Paulo. I mean, there was no real disruption. You have to play into it, and you need a significant amount of engine to push through any of the fireboards.
Absolutely. The bonfire is a great start, but we need to see something next. Again, it's going to be 2 monster negates. Oh, interesting.
And
Cross
they're gonna
out
hit
calling
Ryan
talents,
Cross
and
out.
this is one of the reasons you
Cross out.
Oh,
have
so
the
good.
one
Crossout
talent.
Designator is certainly a controversial card, but with so
How
much
is
of
it
the format
controversial?
running these powerful staple cards, just like the Mirror of the Primal Being or Triple Tactics Talent, stuff that you expect to see in
That
a lot
is
of different
my,
duels, you can go ahead and
thought
employ
process.
that yourself and banish it to negate it. And speaking about employing things, Gabriel is doing a great job representing his team, getting that first victory in the 2 out of 3 set that he's playing against Jeff
Wow.
Jones.
That was really quick.
A very, very tough position. And now we're
Activating
going to be
wanted?
activating one. A
That's
very Mirror-esque play on Maximilian's side.
Well, they certainly both know it's good.
If
They
you have
wouldn't
cross
gotten
out
here
for the talents
otherwise.
there,
But we are going to go ahead
it's
and
so
get into the
ridiculous.
deck there again. If you're noticing a certain commonality here, Dia Bellstar is going to be coming to the field just like she did for the opposite side on Paolo's board. But
Yes, but it's
what are
much
we going to be
more
shedding
vulnerable
here
on
in order to get
Max's
rid of Dia
side?
Bellstar? Obviously, with no cards in the
Max
field,
had 6 cards
maybe
in
you have to
hand.
send something from the
He
hand.
just played bonfire.
But
but
it's still
Poplar.
dangerous. Now we're going to send a Poplar. This is a wonderful
Oh,
play because
okay,
you can go chain
good.
link 1 and do a chain link 2 to block away the Appaloosa from negating the Dia Bellstar.
If I'm Paolo, I probably use
So
the
essentially, you're
effect-
just losing the ability to pay cost with that Poplar, if anything. If you negate it, but it's still worth it because there's a lot of things that do require face-up cards. Card management is key.
It really is. Now, speaking of Interaction Awareness Month, Paolo considering what he's going to do, counting that Maximilian has 3 cards in hand. So it looks like the Chain Link 3 is going to be the Divine Temple of the Snake Eye advancing.
Oh, he had
the
Mourner
IP
as
Masquerade. So
well.
we're going to go ahead and discard Ghost Mortar and Moonlit Chill.
Oh, so right now only the Diviner has been used, and the crazy part is that Flamberge Dragon can take your opponent's Spell and Trap monster and summon it back to their own field and just take it away.
Certainly
Yeah,
would
so
be
that he
wild
can.
to go ahead and grab
So
that.
Paolo can now special summon back Max's Poplar.
It used to be our turn, now it's our monsters.
I think this is really, really well played by Paulo. Paulo being able to stop the DFL
Navigating
start,
very
able to
well.
retrieve another card, setting it onto field, blocking access to the original Sinful Spoil Snake Eye. That puts Maximilian really, really behind. And you can't even get the additional draw with the Wanted because you don't have another Sinful Spoil spell trap card in the graveyard.
Fortunately, it did not get there because Ghost, Mourner, and Moonlit Shield was able to stop the Diabell Star. A nice way to
So
create
if you're Max, what do you do?
around that
Just
without these
declare
chain
battle
blocking any
phase at this
relevance.
point? I mean, it doesn't...
We're going to activate the IP Masquerena, performing the Link Summon during the opponent's turn as main phase. And luckily, we're looking at SP Little Knight, of course.
Does
One of
let
the
us
best
get that
interaction.
banish.
The banish, the additional interaction, really just clearing out whatever
targeting
Maximilian has.
the Bell Star.
It's going to be above the graveyard, so right here. Sideways.
Locating the banishment correctly there.
But this is graveyard.
And since Flamberge left the field, Slamberge, right? He does feel like Slamberge since he's dropping down the tables there.
Yep.
But we are going to see two
And then-
level 1 monsters be special summons. It's going to be Poplar and Ash.
That's so many faults. That's the most dangerous part. You extinguish the big flame, and then two little embers come out onto the field.
That's
going to be
yeah.
the Ash and the Poplar.
Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Shield is such a cool card. Again,
It's an
all
interesting
these
choice.
different, great zombie tuners of a certain, 0 attack, 1800 defense have revolutionized the game. But the fact that this one also does effect damage
And then
is
you get original
incredible.
back, and
Very
then you get
good
to
card
add
be using
Yes.
right now.
another Ash
And the monster
follow
did
up.
get removed from the field, so that's going to be about 2,500 damage. That's a lot.
Oh, he's gotten
That
Birch.
really is.
You're still playing
and it
Birch.
shows you that there's just so many different types of cards you can use. You don't have to just rely on your favorites. You can explore some new stuff too and get some great
There
results.
is infinite amount of hand traps you can choose
How many
from.
cards left in Maximilian's hands at the moment? I don't
Two?
think there's that many.
Oh, I don't think
All the
so.
cards were unable to retrieve
Island.
additional cards, and now we have Fire King Island.
Thinking.
Are we going to destroy a card to search a Fire King monster? I mean, desperation does happen sometimes.
That's the only option left if we're pushing it. Oh, it seems like Michel has one at table C. One point up at the moment.
No, it's destroying
the pressure's
Kieran.
on. Paulo, his disciples are doing very
Oh,
well.
you
Paulo
probably
still
go-
gets to close out one of
oh,
these
so you add
duels, but again,
Garunix,
Gabriel and Michelle both
and then you
closing
go
out one
Kieran
each.
effect here.
Now again, that's still 2 out of 3, so the blue team still has a chance there on both of those sets. But if it's anything like this table, their days may be numbered.
I mean, if Paulo takes this one, the entire team would be one game up. That's a significant advantage.
Certainly is. It means that either of Paulo's disciples would just need to close one more out, and that would be it.
So now we're going to get the destruction of the Kieran. I believe that's from the
So the Kieran is channeling
Island.
2 here. I like this a lot because now you can't get. Now if you get
Taking a
Ghost
second
Bells,
just
you
to make
still
sure
get the
that
card
Kieran
out.
is channeling 2.
Okay, so I will. Abusa. And I guess that's it. Yes, that's
I
it.
think that's all the interactions so far. And we're going to see the special summon of the Sacred Fire King Garunix. Sacred Fire King Garunix effect.
Certainly a powerful set of cards, right? Destroy and then summon, summon and then destroy.
I would
wonder
probably
if that
think about
SP
going.
Little Knight is going to take action here and just remove the monster, just in case there is perhaps a rank 8 Xyz monster in there that could potentially just wipe the entire field.
I don't think we've seen any Xyz summons from Fire Kings the whole weekend. But it
Yeah.
looks like we won't.
Yep,
SP Little Knight's
and
gonna go
Paulo
in.
navigated
That's all
excellently there.
Maximilian
Might
needed
have
to
been the push.
say.
It is very dangerous. That crossout being probably the key
Crossout was
factor that
excellent there.
secured the game. Getting hit by a triple tactics talent against the opponent, you know that you're more or less in the
And I
Snake
think that's
Eye
one of the reasons why
mirror-esque
you should
match. We have
maybe
Fire
consider
King
just
Snake Eye,
using
regular Snake Eye.
1
You
to 2
share a lot
copies of
cards that
Talent
can
in the
start
main.
up the opponent, and with just such dangerous cards like Hita, the Fire Charmer, Ablaze, being able to take your cards,
Yeah,
or
it's-
even Dark, the
it's
Dark
nuts.
Charmer, Gloomy,
Like,
taking
that was insane.
perhaps your
I would love to know
Black
if
Witch.
Paulo
That just
is
sets everything
using
up
Jet
for you,
Synchron
and
in
you
his
have to keep
list.
them at- Those are additional things that you have
And if
to
he's not using
shut
Jet
out,
Synchron, I guess he
in
just
case,
determined
even
that
if you use, say, a Nibiru, these are still the dangerous.
that was the
still
better
loot.
play.
No, we've seen that really the only safe attributes in the graveyard right now, it seems like, are Earth, Wind, and Light. But at the same time, we even saw Lena the Light Charmer this tournament too. Because
If he's
the
not
Voiceless
using
was
Jet
just
Synchron,
taking
then that was
advantage of those
fine.
effect
If he's
failures.
using
So
Jet
your
Synchron, I
graveyard has
may
never been
have
more
decided to
in
do that
peril.
play a
It seems like
little
maybe
bit
Ghost Bell and
differently,
Haunted Mansion might be
where
a
you
little
bring
more
out.
premium card than people are putting a rating on it.
So you put
Yeah, I
Oak
think
in the spell
Ghost
trap
Bell is a
zone.
wonderful card. Being able
So
to drop,
Oak can then
like,
bring
just
back
so
extra
many
bodies
different
and have
things.
another
You can
special
stop
summon.
the voiceless voice matchup from the low coming back. If you
But yeah, that's
can
actually a really
secure
good
the
line
correct
that he
chain
took.
link. But I think mainly you can use this to stop like the major plays of like Flambear Dragon summoning 2. Summoning 2 is just like so significant.
It's
too many monsters.
It's a great card that gets even better with the embers on the field, as you said. Once that flame is extinguished, well, it's not over. But yes, Crossout Designator really being the deciding card. Even Maximilian took a moment to just say, oh man, that Crossout Designator.
Yeah.
Anybody who doesn't think that's a good card, just try it. Just see how it feels.
I feel like we could even see Crossout get limited to one.
Especially in a format where so many cards overlap.
It feels like
we're talking about
we're
not
finally
just
seeing Crossout do what
being
Coldbite did.
here. Oh, we play the same ones. We're talking about main deck cards getting hit.
Oh yeah, Triple Tactics Talon, a very popular choice throughout the weekend. We've seen how just
very
game
good
deciding it can be, but it didn't decide any games because Crossout Designator just said, we don't do that here.
Yeah, we've seen the Crossout also being used for the Flambear's Dragon when it attempts to summon out 2, and this is mainly for the pure Snake Eye variant, which plays multiple Flambear's Dragon. And being able to banish one without suffering the consequence of not having another copy, that's one of the advantages that they have. So it's always that debate, like, how do I play additional Snake Eye and just get rid of the Fire King so I can have options like these? Because these are not options available at the moment unless you want to really amp up the number of cards in your deck and play pretty muddy.
Oh, absolutely. And it's one of those things, too. Notice how quickly they are ready to jump into their next game. They barely spend any time side decking there.
I feel like they should know exactly how to
side.
You've
seen it all. You know what's going on. In fact, you might have even played some of these players, although with a loss record on either side of only about 2 or 1 here and there, they may not have run into each other exactly, right? These are the tournament results that have been the best.
Okay, game 2.
Results, we're going into game 2 of our top 16 featured match between these two teams.
Now, for the entire team score, so what we know so far, Paulo's team has 1 game each.
Well,
okay.
Paulo's disciples are definitely proving their point. They have been trained quite well.
Very, very strong player.
Dealing with any problems, so I always try to.
And they are about to begin. I believe Maximilian has no reason not to go first.
I would imagine you want to get set up before any of that Snake Eye shenanigans happens. That's probably one of the safest positions against the Snake Eye deck, is to just get there before they do.
And we're going to normal summon out Snake Eyes Poplar. I wonder why this one has Snake Eyes rather than just Snake Eye.
Yep, that's the one
punished. It does just have the one eye.
Yeah, that's a slight name difference. And names
Paulo
are
is
really
like,
key here. You got to be very careful,
it.
especially when it comes to Fire King monsters.
Oh, absolutely. We
that's
have
one of the
like
punishes.
I heard from Joe talking earlier, those horror stories of people running Fire King Avatar Garudix.
Yeah, that's not the
one they want.
That is the baby chicken.
No, you need Heaven on High, not just the regular stuff. But
you need the sacred one, really.
So do you go for Snake Eyes Ash here, or do you go for? Oh, he had an Ash as well. Does Max have Crossout or Coldbite? He has Crossout himself.
Designator counter playing that Ash Blossom. You know, you can hit me once, but I'm gonna hit back with the same card.
And that's so.
He Crossout designated somebody. He knows how good the card is. You can never
that is
your opponent
so
out.
big
they are
right there.
just as good as you did. They did just as much.
You know why
homework,
that's
and
so
Crossout
big?
Designator works too.
Here's an interesting.
It's because now he's got an Ash and the Great
He
Fajita.
activated 2 cards, both of which failed to resolve. That is significant. With 3 cards
no,
left in
Impem
hand,
resolved without
Maximilian
effect.
just needs to
Ash
build
resolved
his
without
field.
effect.
Wait, hold on, that is a regular Kieran.
It is. It's the one you don't want to see, and that's so funny. I mean, Fire King Avatar Kieran, a great card, sending the extra fire monster to the graveyard. But again, just be very careful when you fill out your deck list. We don't want to have any errors on that.
This is why I use
into your
Dueling
deck,
Book.
Just be very careful.
Export.
Oh,
he has talents as well.
Chimera Classic.
If I'm Paolo, I may decide I want to skip. Bonfire. Okay.
You tried to do it to me, and I'm doing it back. So,
I'd get rid of Bonfire here.
That is looking at your opponent's hand and returning 1 card from
okay, so I would get rid of Bonfire here. Reason is, you can set up a negation for the Snake Eyes Ash, but Bonfire is going to be a free special summon, so if they draw into like another Snake Eyes card, there's 2 special. No, why would have got? Unless of course Max has Ash.
Certainly helps set things back, means you have to use the Bonfire to get the Ash, and there's a possible interruption that you could use there, whether you have another copy of Ash Blossom in your hand or not.
So if Max has Ash,
but
it
that
doesn't really
knowledge
matter.
is crucial. If Maximilian can't maintain 1 disruption from hand, or just something on the field that can turn off whatever that Bonfire is going to bring out, the game is going to be secured. There's no options left.
Certainly so, and you know you're safe from Nibiru.
I'd get rid of Bonfire there.
Of course, we have Maximilian and Paolo are fighting it out, with Paolo having 1 point.
But I'll see what Max
Gabriel
has.
are now tied 1 duel apiece, and Lattice is still hanging in there against Michelle's first victory in their 2 out of 3 set.
Just if
we're
you
gonna continue
have
with
an Apo,
Fire King
because you're gonna set up
lineup.
Apo here.
The Sanctuary, we have the Island, we have the legendary Fire King Ponix, we have the Sacred Garunix. This is just an all Fire King action here. Arvada has been not destroyed, it's in the graveyard as well.
Come on, Max, you got a heater line.
Card, right?
Heater.
We saw last week how Arvada really caused people to enter the battle phase really early, but looks like we're not in the battle phase just yet. We're going to go ahead and link summon here.
We're going to go to the Hita. Hita is going to take the Ash. That's why Ash is a liability sometimes. What do you mean I'm a fire monster?
I know. Ash Blossom and Joy Spring being fire.
And then you get Arvada.
Other attributes. Why don't you try out Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion?
And welcome
now,
back,
what else does Max have here?
King,
He doesn't have anything else. We're just going to see him go straight into
gate. Whatever that the bonfire is going to add into hand.
And now there's the Amblo Whale as well.
I might get rid of it.
A lot of follow-up for 2 cards remaining. That's going to be very difficult. Well, especially when you know the Flamberge in hand.
So Max is now. What? How many cards does Max have in hand here? Because Max may lose to a Super Poly.
But again, it can destroy a fire monster in order to negate an activated monster effect.
Apollo activating that bonfire. That proves that, hey, maybe that other card he just got into hand might not be so great. We need to search out the option here. That's going to be the Arvada. Arvada searching into Ash.
So with the Snake Eye Ash, though, the problem is if you summon...
he
there
did
we go.
Get there.
So we happened to just draw the infinite impermanence, made it a lot easier. No longer have to worry about Arvada, which
well,
is,
he still has to worry about a few
things.
things.
And so here's Snake Eye Ash uninterrupted.
That's a normal summon, so the Promethean Princess will not be activating at this particular point, but there's still a lot of disruption.
It's a lot of disruption still.
Million out just yet. Sure, the line, the first wall is down, but we're going to add a Poplar.
Poplar effect.
Activate the summon itself. That's a special summon.
I will activate the Promethean Princess effect here.
Destroy cards and just really set things up here.
Again, the Fire King Arvada is just so incredible. It was a card that was extremely powerful in Duel Links. This is the first time it got onto my radar, but still is showing
if I'm Paolo,
a lot of these cards have. That's why Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card games
you have to get original here.
A card may be great now, but even better later.
Okay, so we're going to special summon back the Promethean Princess. We're going to destroy the Snake Eye Ash with the effect. Poplar is still resolving. I believe got the original Sinful Spoil.
And Bestower of Flames, that Promethean Princess.
Yes,
so
that's right.
Again,
I forgot about that.
The first special summon you see, you're going to see a destroyed fire monster and a card on your opponent's side of the field. And then, hello, she's back.
And here's why the Fire King line is so strong. So many monsters coming out. The Arvada was destroyed, so that summons back the Kieran. The Garunix activated. We're going to destroy the Kieran.
Kieran effect.
Everything back onto the field. And remember, that Arvada has not used the effect yet. It will come back online.
It absolutely will. So when it's special summon, it actually still can attempt to negate and destroy cards.
Yeah, and Paulo realizes that there's no other option but to concede this one. Save some time. We're going to move on.
Only thing Max did wrong there was maybe he lost.
Game number 2.
That shows you
he
how strong
probably
the
could have
Fire
lost to a
Kings
Super
are,
Poly there.
Basically what carried the duel. There wasn't really a lot of
so if I was Max, like, I don't know what cards he had in hand. I guess if he had Ash, it didn't matter. But
probably have the same result, and
personally, I would have linked off the Ambler for Zelantis. Reset the Zelantis position. And that way I know that I don't...
all of those cards.
Also, I guess it could be an issue if Max didn't have any other fire monsters in hand. I guess it really depends on the hand. I think Vlad lost.
But when you resolve both of those cards, you more or less have knowledge of what's going to come up.
It's up to Jeff and Max to win.
And that's just such a very difficult position to come out, even with the infinite impermanence. Oh, that's a great card to top deck to negate one of the negates.
Definitely
but that's not enough.
That's not enough.
So
definitely a heart of the cards moment.
I can't say that Max had incorrect technical play,
you're absolutely right about cross-side designator.
because I don't know what the other cards in his hand were.
Has some great synergy in certain strategies, like you said, Brandon Chimera, being able to banish those cards that you can get easy access back to.
So the card that more or less defeated Paolo, unfortunately, was the Ash Blossom. It functioned as an enabler for the triple tactics. It functioned as an additional monster for the Hita to summon back. Everything stemmed from that one wrong fire monster being at the wrong place at the wrong time.
You know, with words like that, it makes
really
you
interesting that, again, you can't say Max misplayed. I'm going to hop on this. If Max had another fire monster... Oh, actually, okay, like this. If Max had another fire monster in hand, he made a misplay by not getting rid of the Ambler Whale and allowed him to lose to a top deck Super Poly by Paolo. If Paolo top decked Super Poly there, Max would have lost the game. Provided he had another fire fire monster. If you did not have another fire monster, you have to say, okay, if I don't have another fire monster here, even still,
I would do it. I 100% would do it.
Even still,
I just like, you know what? I didn't play this card.
Actually, wait, if he didn't have another fire monster,
there is no such card. What are you talking about?
It might have been a better option to still get rid of the Amber Well, because you don't lose to Super Poly, and then use your interactions for when Paulo special summons, because you know he's got a special summon.
It is wild.
Then what would happen is you can trigger the Promethean, blow up the Avada, and whatever max, and whatever Paulo special summons, trigger the Garunic's effect, and also in the same chain, turn through being Avada, bring back Kieran. Garunic's destroy Kieran, and then Kieran effect would bring back the Avada, so you'd have a full board.
Yeah, they're just staring it down. You're absolutely right.
So that is going to be Michelle's
that would be
table. I think we're gonna have
arguably just as good, and then it wouldn't require you to have a fire monster in hand because you just trigger everything on field. And then you know he's got what, Bonfire, Flame Burst. He's only got one card you have to worry about.
Things are kind of getting down to it because again, with one duel ending, that does mean that if this is decided the wrong way, that could be the end of their tournament journey.
But still,
yeah, so that was actually one thing. So I'm going to say slight error by Max there, not playing around the Super Poly.
No, you absolutely should.
Even though it didn't happen, you just don't give yourself the opportunity to lose.
Won't take that on the chin. They're going to want to go all the way. But again, making it to the top 16 out of 571 teams is incredible. And speaking of teams, looks like you were absolutely right. Michelle did take 2-0 against Vladis. So
you know Konami is very happy about that because they don't want Michelle back on stream.
Victory if Jeffrey or Gabriel finishes their duel.
Now, Michelle, I believe, was playing Voiceless Voice.
Yes.
So that was quite a surprise here.
You're right, you're right. We did get to see some of the Voiceless Voice activity earlier on the broadcast, but right now it is all fire.
I don't want that back on the broadcast. Oh, he's got original. He's got original.
That's what is so good. Even if you lose your copy of Flambear Dragon and you still have a monster in the spawn trap zone, you can still push it to the front row, and that's important.
Thinking about it, we're going to go ahead and just send Snake Eye Ash and
the Oak into the
this
graveyard.
Is so good.
Like,
I'm going to rethink my
so
technical
that's okay.
play.
Likely going to go into the Flambear's Dragon at this particular point, and there it is. Snake Eyes, Flambear's Dragon.
Flambear Dragon, kind of an underestimated card once it first came out, but I'm
and
so glad
we link those two off, and you chain block.
Awesome monster. Now we're going to go ahead and possibly link summon into an
IP Masquerena,
and then probably see Poplar and
1, 2.
I'm surprised that people did not pick up, like, this card is going to be amazing right from the get-go. What? This card can push monsters away, summon their monster, and give me 2 monsters, and can be summoned for free? Sign me up.
It also just has great numbers, too. We've seen where that 3,000 attack has really come into play.
He's got original still as well. It really makes Nib bad here. Nib is so bad here.
Snake Eye Oak back into the spell and trap zone. We have not really used the effect there, so that's the wonderful part.
Like if I'm Max, I know I cannot do it
yet. We do get the follow-up. We can push through. We can generate 3 monsters, and Promethean Princess will still occur. And with the IP Masquerena here, likely it's going to be put back into the spell and trap zone later on after we link this one off.
Oak in the spell trap zone. Yep, and then Oak comes out.
The rock. Everyone's just throwing rocks at each other.
That's fine. Honestly, if I'm Paolo, I'm fine with this.
It's not strong enough to stop. They're coming of Nibiru, the primal being. So his monsters will be tributed to the graveyard. We'll go ahead and get a token out here.
Token has been special summoned into.
And then you're going to use the field spell effect to bring Oak back.
However, that is a special summon on your opponent's side, and that's going to allow the Divine Temple of the Snake Eye to special summon back the Snake Eyes Oak. And the Oak has not used the effect, so we're going to.
And an Oak effect.
A level 1 fire monster from the graveyard.
And there's Bell.
Never mind. Counterplayed by the Ghost Bell. As you mentioned, the Ghost Bell is really, really good.
It's been so strong, and it's not a liability because its attribute is not fire, it's not dark. You don't even have to worry about those light and live.
It was Nib and.
Now Paulo has to stop and think for a second here. This is why Nibiru is strong. Nibiru alone, this could have been an easy out for Paulo. However, combined with the Ghost Bell now we're short a couple of monsters. It does remind
he's only used
card has been stopping the pace of these duels.
1 card so far, so he has 4 more in hand.
The Ghost Bell's been great, but it seems like there's no interaction here.
Personally, I don't think I'd use Bell.
Grabbing another Snake Eye Birch.
Birch is going to be the follow here. Perfect time. This is why the pure Snake Eye is so strong, because you can just keep on summoning more. Now you have enough monsters once again. Now you play through both of them now.
Now you get to make
Purchase effect is going to activate there, and take a look at the extra deck just for a moment to see.
I think we're just calculating how we're just going to end up bringing back some of the Flamberge.
So first off, you go Link,
and
no.
Not just that, we're going to go into Phoenix.
Yep.
How interesting! Just to go ahead and get rid of it. Okay.
We need to get rid of that token
Princess?
because that token is not an effect monster. For Promethean Princess, you need effect monsters, so you gotta kind of cycle your way through to the correct recipe here. We're gonna bring back the Oak.
Sending
using
those
Oak's effect.
Okay.
Summon back another monster.
Flamberge. Oh, I see how he's doing this.
Most of the cards have already activated, so I don't see the value of just reducing your monsters. So second
and then you go Flamberge
coming
here.
down onto the field.
Flamberge definitely good help right now, pushing Nibiru into the back row, but also giving a fire monster to be on the field to destroy. Since you have the Promethean Princess Bestower of Flames in the graveyard. That's what
this
makes
is so good,
lethal,
man.
It
this is
look
so
like we're
good.
Gonna push back the Nibiru. 3,000 is nothing to worry about, right? The Rock has already come down, so we're going to go and put the IP Masquerena for a follow-up.
Max got 3 cards left in hand. Paulo's got
in a little bit of a tight position.
3 cards in hand.
Maybe some of the side deck cards too.
He's still got original, doesn't he?
Back, proceed to set 1, maybe even set 2. Or we're going to activate
deck lockdown. Oh, you so mad. No. That is actually quite impressive.
So we're not going to be able to add cards from the deck to the end, nor special summon cards from the deck to the field. That is deck lockdown. That is the Paolo special, I would like to call it. And then,
even if he was able to Cosmic Cyclone, nothing was going
Max
to happen.
lost.
Like maybe continue to do with a handshake.
Pop summon, and you have to play into
oh
this.
No, that actually secures it.
I have to draw you.
The cards have been revealed. Paolo takes game number 3.
That's so incredible.
Oh, wow.
Lockdown.
Okay.
But that does kind of put on the radar for future opponents. The deck lockdown could be something that he slots into.
Well, a lot of people are on.
Is that game over? Oh, well, yeah, that's actually wait, that is match over, yeah.
Was not the out for this particular case. Congrats.
So that's top 16. Paolo's technical play is what was the big difference in that match. I mean, what can you say? He's just a really good player. Well done technically. How he set up Divine Temple there was very impressive. I'm going to assume he's not playing Jet Synchron, because if you're not playing Jet Synchron, it makes so much more sense to grab Temple there over Original, and just know that you have a plethora of all your interactions, and Original doesn't add value there. Man, well done, Polo.